It's all about the family, as Vin Diesel would say, and it's all about the family in NXT because we've new WWE NXT Tag Team Champions, and the belts come home to Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling here for your NXT review for the 14th, my bad, 14th of November. Normally I'd cut that out and edit it because I need to be a perfectionist, but fuck it, time is off the effing.
Wrestling is shite, right? It deserves one take and one take only. Have a bit of patience.
Aye, anyway, let's get into the show. It's the first time I've actually watched NXT in about, what, 4 weeks probably? 5 weeks?
There you go.
It's been a while. Normally, I'm stuck with Dynamite, which I'm not thrilled about, but at least it's not Raw.
Dynamite.
However, yeah, I'm off work today, so I packed in the 9 to 5 for one day only. It's like a TNA. Remember they were doing those one night only specials?
Aye.
That's me, I'm doing a one night.
This was better than TNA. This was alright. NXT's alright, I think. You get your bang for your buck.
It keeps you entertained with all these wee mad segments, and I mean, I'm not saying they're all great, but at least it's something different. At least it's something that it grabs your attention, you know? Like, you watch Raw and it's like...
What do you want to talk?
Raw puts you to sleep. I would rather watch... you know what? See that Noam Dar? I think he's better than anyone on Raw.
Yeah, I fell asleep
I think he's more entertaining. See him... Even he comes out with a Heritage Cup and he's got it in this like container and it's fucking got loads of chains and padlock like Kane in 2003. I don't know, that's kind of funny. I don't know, there's people in NXT, I just prefer them over Raw, man.
The Scottish Supernova.
Supernova. Fuck it, Drew McIntyre out and get this guy in. This guy should be the next champion. This guy should have been at Clash of the Castle.
He's a midget, but...
He's not a boring bastard like Drew McIntyre.
He's our midget. So let's talk about the first match, right?
Andre Chase, Duke Hudson. I don't know what's been happening. So explain to me why Thea Hale is back in Chase U. Because the last time I seen it, Andre Chase threw in the towel. It cost her shot at the title against Tiffany Stratton. Then she was hanging out with Jacy Jayne, who was supposedly being a bad influence and getting her to turn heel and whatnot. And then she went from like the innocent girl next door to, you know, dressing like Jacy Jayne, and she dresses like a, I don't know, slut or whatnot. So explain, why is she back with Andrew Chase, and is she heel, is she face, is Chase U heel, are they face, is Jacy Jayne turned face, what's happening?
They're all turned face, right? You can clearly see from the segments in the previous weeks and this week that Jacy Jayne is kind of like still got a bad influence, but it's part of Chase University, right? Not everyone at University is a good person, you know, just to put that out there. So Chase University wasn't a plan all along, but essentially she saw good at the end of it and helped them win the tag belts after weeks of uncertainty about where's she going, why is she not appearing at classes, where is she? So she's back.
So she forgave Andre Chase, and then Jacy Jayne, out of her loyalty to Thea Hale, decided to join Chase U with her.
That is exactly it. But
that's mad. Imagine explaining that like that good. You know, that's crazy.
Couldn't have did that in a second attempt.
No, you definitely could not have. Anyway, we get in the match. Tag team match. Now, something happened last week. Can you explain what happened last week that caused the walkout this week?
Aye, so I believe that they've walked out because Andrew Chase has given up their university tuitions here, and it's on the line. It was a part of the letters. That's why I didn't want anyone opening the letters. The entire university has went down the drain because Andrew giving them a title shot, and that's what was on the line. Disgraceful, isn't it?
So Andrew Chase used all the students' money to get a title shot?
That's it, apparently. Apparently so.
That's what was in the letters?
According to Shawn Michaels. That's
well, I mean, he probably should have intercepted those letters before Jacy got her hands on them.
Where are the letters?
Anyway, the walkout distracted Chase, and he turned around into the bada bing, bada boom, then 1, 2, 3. The family are in your room. There you go. New champs. Quick. I don't think they should have lost the belts in the first place, so...
I have no problem with Chase University getting a wee title run, though.
Well, a wee title run is... correctly, because it lasted like, what, 2 weeks?
But I tell you what, the finish was named after wee Tony Soprano's fucking strip club.
Is it not named after Enzo Amore?
No, it's Tony Soprano's strip club.
Alright, fair enough.
That's what it's called, bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom. New tag team champs in the room. With Dominic Mysterio and Baron Corbin backstage, Dominic says sooner rather than later Baron will be having gold around his waist. I don't know what this is. Is this Dominic trying to recruit Baron Corbin to the Judgment Day? Please don't, Baron Corbin. You've actually been doing a good job, I think, since you moved to NXT. Don't be joining the Judgment Day, for fuck's sake. That's the last thing this guy needs.
Yeah, I just think segments like this in NXT just are better. The more organic, authentic. I think if this happened on Raw, it'd be boring. I can't you know, put my finger on what the difference is. But do you not think that just seemed fresh?
It did. They have a common enemy. It's Wesley. So Baron says he's going to send him to the hospital tonight, and obviously,
and he can add that to his list.
Dominic's kind of happy about that. We had the Alpha Academy appear on the Supernova session. So we've got Supernova and his group out there. I forget what the name of them's called. Metaphor. That's it. It's not a bad name, to be honest.
You know, this wasn't a bad segment. I think this was probably segment of the night.
They got the Heritage Cup, and it's in this like padlock case, and there's all chains and shit around it, and it was weird because, I don't know, Noam Dar's making out as if he's unbeatable. No one can beat him. They're having to create tournaments, international challenge tournaments to try and find an opponent. Chad Gable says it must be tough. You're being unbeatable, not having an opponent on your level. And then Chad Gable's like, well, I found somebody. And at first I thought they were going to bring out Akira Tozawa. But it turns out it's not Akira Tozawa. We get Otis, he comes out, shakes his hips, does all this sexual shit. I don't know. I mean, why are we getting a big fat fucker like Otis doing this sexual shit, but you can't even get Maxine? Like, why can't she thrust her hips? Why is it the big fat guy?
Yeah, why is it? Oh, it's funny though, it's a big fat guy. I mean, this is a jobber faction. Akira Tozawa's out there, by the way. You probably didn't notice him because he's that shite. He was standing behind Chad Gable. Yeah.
I literally just mentioned him 30 seconds ago.
You worded it as if he was coming out for the
match. No, I thought he was... No, I thought... No,
you changed your word.
No.
Yes. Shush, please. I was right, big man. Chad Gable knew what to say. Is he going to really whip out Akira Tozawa?
Yes, because he was standing at the back.
He's fucking pish.
So I thought he was going to say, like, right, Otis, move your fat ass, because that guy behind you is the one that's going to be challenging Noam Dar.
Noam Dar,
I never said Akira Tozawa was coming out for the back.
Well, he may as well. Noam Dar may as well buy a new bottle of Mr. Sheen to polish his fucking trophy.
I don't watch Raw either. So why is Akira Tozawa with these guys?
Because I don't. It's just because he's against your big man here. That's the whole feud. Akira Tozawa was doing double duty. And that's why they reference Shinsuke Nakamura, because Nakamura battered Otis on Raw. Yeah, he battered Akira Tozawa.
Anyway, I didn't get this. So Gable basically insinuates that the challenger is going to be Otis, and Noam Dar's very happy about this. For some reason, he thinks he's going to easily beat a guy that's 3 times his size. But then Chad Gable's like, no, it's not going to be him. It's going to be a former tag team champion on SmackDown, former tag team champ on Raw, an Olympian. And then Noam Dar starts freaking out. He's like, oh no, not an Olympian. And Chad Gable's like, you're going to be facing me. And Noam Dar like is freaking the hell out here for whatever reason. And he then headbutts him. And Noam Dar gets a Glasgow kiss, and he's just laying on the couch. And like, why the fuck are they making it as if Baron Corbin is like prime, I don't know, dead man, the Undertaker here? I didn't quite understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, because like, it's not like Chad Gable's booked strong on Raw. He's booked weak everywhere.
What I always thought that Noam Dar would rather face Gable than Otis, but I mean, I guess not, based on this reaction.
I think, is it because he just solely thinks that he is the best, like, he's a really good wrestler, but he thinks Chad Gable is this Olympian and he's just superior to him, while Otis is just a fat guy? Could it work?
Possibly. Anyway, second match. I mean, maybe he thought Otis wouldn't be able to go to 6 rounds. Is that something? I don't know. The way that he knows Chad Gable won't get tired. I don't know the thinking. I'm not going to overthink it. Next match, Roxanne Perez versus Lash Legend. Winner qualifies for the Iron Survivor Challenge. Lash Legend wins. Didn't see this coming at all. She'd helped not only from Metaphor, but also from Kiana James, who I believe has already qualified for the match. So, there you go.
Roxanne Perez going nowhere. I mean, what was that gimmick though, her mental health, giving up the belt? Was that real?
Pathetic.
You can't trust somebody like that, and maybe Shawn Michaels has lost his smile looking at that. So yeah, I agree with Lash Legend actually winning this match though, even though it wasn't upset.
Could you imagine if Austin came out and back in the day during his run and says, "Oh, McMahon, I need to take WrestleMania season off. My mental health's poor."
That would have been poor.
McMahon would have just been like, "What? Fuck you," and pushed someone else.
What, you son of a bitch? Austin, it was me all along giving you Prozac.
Like, if you look at John Cena and the run he was on, like, you need someone dependable, someone you can trust, someone that you can put out there on the spotlight, someone that you know is going to turn up and deliver every single time. And that's one of the reasons why John Cena's been in that role, because he's trustworthy. If you look at Roxanne Perez, how could WWE ever really push her as a top person and put all this spotlight on her and promote her to the moon and make her like the #1 person? if they don't know if she can wake up one day and feel alright to actually come into work.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the same goes for Reigns. Like, I know he had the blood cancer, but he literally took like 6 months off because of COVID. When he was
same with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Bray Wyatt's way worse than Reigns.
Rest in
At least
peace,
with
like,
Reigns, like he had.
So Bray Wyatt was never going to be a top guy just because he was not reliable.
Yeah, but R.I.P.
R.I.P. Bray Wyatt.
R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. But yeah, Lash Legend wins this match. But like I said, I agree with this.
R.I.P. Roxanne Perez's chances of qualifying for the Survivor match.
I think Roxanne Perez has ran her course.
Better move you to Raw. Wait, did she not move to Raw and then she got moved back? I know. That Aussie person done that. The big one, tall one. Forget her name.
What is it?
Indy Hartwell.
There you go.
I mean, what a failed attempt that was at Raw. Oh, the brand split's going to be wrecked within 1 week.
Well, she's back on Raw.
But people are telling me, no, it's not. They're going to stick to it. The brand split's not. Brand split was fucking ruined as soon as they decided to include 6 SmackDown people in the championship tournament for the Raw belt. But anyway, speaking of that Raw belt, Seth Rollins has borne the tits off of me. We have the family had a backstage confrontation with Garza and Korea. I can't stand Los Lotharios. I don't see any point in them.
No.
They had nothing to me.
Just 2 guys that have been on the roster for like, feels like a decade.
Yeah, we got Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes talking about the punch last week. Trick Williams doesn't really trust Carmelo Hayes. And I guess if Carmelo Hayes was going to turn his back on him, he's more likely to do it now after last week's punch. Trick Williams thinks that Carmelo Hayes isn't exactly happy for him, and he isn't really rooting for Trick the way Trick was rooting for Carmelo back in the day. I think there's some truth to that.
Of course there's truth to that, but does that not to be expected? Let's be real, Trick Williams was the second fiddle to him. Always. It's not like Carmelo Hayes was first, second fiddle to him, and that
it's not exactly the same, but it's a bit like Evolution. Triple H, I was happy for Randy when he was winning, and Triple H had the gold, and Randy was winning the Intercontinental title. That was good. But when Triple H is no longer the champion, and then Randy wins the championship,
it's all over for Randy.
You're getting the big double thumbs down or whatever. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think there's a bit of truth to that. We then see Braun Breaker backstage. He says he's got no remorse for what he's done to Von Fagner and Stone.
I tell you what, Braun Breaker's good.
He says he wants to hurt people. He's the badass of WWE, and he is the badass of WWE. I think Braun Breaker is 100% a future WrestleMania headliner.
No, he is. He absolutely is. And what are we waiting on them to call him up for?
Yeah, I think... I see NXT, in my opinion, like, no one should be on it more than, like, a year and a half, 2 years.
No, I do, though. Book Braun Breaker like Reigns on Raw. That's what I would do. Not as in he's there every 3 months, as in he dominates.
What I would do, though, is I would have Braun Breaker actually dominate on NXT before getting called up, because, let's be real, see the past, like, 6 months, they've had him be a bit of a jobber.
Yeah, he's lost people, but he's lost matches.
He's lost a shitload of matches, and I think he should be called up on a winning streak. But anyway, D-Jack joins the conference. Another guy that I like. He says he's curious about Braun's future, and he says that while Braun's been busy pulling splinters out of his ass, table reference, D-Jack was qualifying for the Iron Survivor Challenge. He says that D-Jack should never interrupt them, especially since they've never crossed paths. But D-Jack says that, you know, they're going to cross paths in the future, and he's the one guy that Braun can't break. But then Braun says to D-Jack, stay out of my way, because if you don't, you'll be begging for retribution. And I didn't like this, because you've got Braun Breaker bringing up the past on D-Jack when he was in a totally different character in Retribution, a stable that failed, a stable that is trying to be swept under the carpet, and he's bringing it up when it has zero relevance. This is when D-Jack was going under the name Dominic Dijakovic or whatever, and now he's going under D-Jack, and I think it's just totally unprofessional. This would be like The Rock being in a promo with The Undertaker in '99 and then referring to him, I'm going to beat you so bad, dead man, you're going to go back to being mean Mark Calloway in WC. Like, they just didn't do that back in the day. It was unprofessional. I think this is just burying someone. Forget about Retribution. That's not the same guy, okay? It's not supposed to be the same guy. It's like someone calling out Gallows for being fake Kane, you know, it's not supposed to have happened.
No, it's not supposed to have happened, but he called it out. He said Retribution, but it's not like it went under the radar. Like, I
it was a dig. It was a dig.
No, it was a dig, but I don't mind these as long as it's not like a full-blown shoot. I think this is borderline acceptable.
Borderline acceptable?
Aye. I have no real issue with it. I'm not going to pretend that I was crying when he said this. I didn't even fucking realise what it meant till you said why Retribution. Shows you how relevant Retribution was, though. I mean, if he said, like... But there's no real... Well, I can't really think of a faction that's got, like, a name you could use in a sense. Like Nexus, you can't really use that.
No, but like, let's just say someone's been pushed as a serious top star, right? And they're in a feud with someone, and the person brings up, oh, you used to be this jobber who had a different gimmick altogether. True.
It's like, Batista, didn't you used to carry Devon's trust fund around? Church fund?
No, imagine like let's say John Cena, right, is in the height of his push, but maybe he played Doink the Clown back in the day or something like that. And then someone just in the middle, you can't beat me, sure, you used to be Doink the Clown. You're a clown, Cena. I think that's just pish, bringing up someone's past character when it's not even fucking relevant. But whatever. We then got some weird sort of tea ceremony with Lyra Valkyrie and Shia Lee.
It's different though.
Lyra Valkyrie didn't look like Lyra Valkyrie, she looked a lot better.
I actually thought it was Roxanne Perez initially. Then
she had her hair down, she didn't have all the stupid makeup, and I think the reason that people in NXT look better is because they actually do look a lot more natural, whereas it seems to be like on Raw and SmackDown they go for like the panda fucking eyeshadow, mascara and the heavy makeup, and Lyra Valkyrie is probably the only one of the few people in NXT that uses a lot of makeup, although it is kind of to do with her, I don't know, her faking, not a faking, but she's got that sort of warrior character.
It helps when you don't look like a man.
Or whatnot. But I think Lyra Valkyrie looked a hell of a lot better tonight than she looks when she's wrestling.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Raw is the worst for this. Like, Shia Lee's on Raw, right? And you wouldn't think this person's got a character if you watch Monday Night Raw, but here, they clearly go into it.
Yeah, they shared tea. Apparently it's tradition. It's showing respect. And she says... Just like this tea falls apart. This tea can't handle the heat. You're not going to be able to handle the heat next week. I thought it was pretty good. She says that, you know, the tea must be brewed at the right temperature, but next week the temperature's going to be too hot for you, Lyra. It was alright. I mean, I'm not saying it was great, but it was something different.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
Too cold to hold? How cold must something be to hold? Because I would rather hold something extremely cold than hold something extremely hot.
Well, I mean, but either extreme ends of it. You'd rather hold something that's like, but see, nah, you would definitely rather.
That's not overthinking,
no,
man.
Let's just wrap up in 10 seconds. You'd rather hold something that's like 40 degrees than hold something that's minus 40.
Well, no shit, because 40 degrees is 40 degrees not like more. It's closer to like a room temperature than...
Well, fuck, what room are you in? The Congo?
Well, no, but 40 degrees is closer to like the normal temperature than minus 40 is. No?
Well, maybe that's a bad example then.
What's the body heat? What are we carrying?
We're like 37 degrees.
Well, no, fuck, that's only 3 degrees more.
Aye, but it's still warm.
Aye, but it's not bloody minus 40. You're talking like a 77 point difference there? Degree difference?
Ah, well, right, let's just move on.
Let's just move on. Trick Williams beat one of the members of, what are they called? Scottish guys?
Gallus.
Gallus. The Gallus boys are not on top. Even though it looks like Carmella Hayes...
These guys are jobbers.
Yeah, Carmella Hayes didn't really help him. Wesley runs into Dragunov. It looks like... I can see a tag match happening next week with Dominic and Baron Corbin, but I don't really care. Then we got the Brawling Brutes versus OTM with scripts. OTM... These guys came in with like some sort of Carlito Caribbean gimmick, and now it's just totally gone, and they're teamed up with scripts, and they're fucking bums, and they're losing all the time, and they lost to the Brawling Brutes, who debuted in new Union Jack style kind of gear, red, white and blue. I don't know how Sheamus feels about that, but